Good afternoon. A lot of people ask me how India is managing its oil resources in the current context of West Asian crisis. It's a long story, but I'd like to tell a few important and interesting nuggets from how we manage the situation, especially the oil situation. As you know, that India is not an oil-rich country. We have historically been importing oil from various countries. In fact, till recently, we were importing from 27 countries. But when the war between Russia and Ukraine broke out, America and NATO put sanctions on the oil companies in Russia. They did that primarily to isolate Russia, economically isolate Russia, I would say, and strip off Moscow's financial robustness. Moscow had no other choice but to look towards Asia, that is, India and China. India grabbed the opportunity. At that point in time, I think we were importing something like 2.5% of oil from Russia. But the minute Russia offered us discounted crude, we grabbed the idea and then our imports escalated to almost 45%. As of 2025, it is 45% from Russia. And we were importing something to the tune of perhaps 1.8 million barrels per day. I remember distinctly an interview of Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, who is the Honorable Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas. He was questioned by an official of NATO as to why India is buying from Russia. I remember and recall his thunderous voice with which he said that India will buy from any country that gives us a good deal. We don't need anyone's permission. We will buy from any country that is willing to trade with us on mutually agreeable terms. And he also quoted something about our Honorable Prime Minister, saying that Prime Minister is wired to protect the citizens of the country, and he also follows suit. And what followed after this is also interesting. We no more borrow from just 24, I'm sorry, buy from just 24 countries, but we buy today from 40 countries. So India stood to gain enormously by reacting and acting quickly with enormous amount of agility, taking the deals with a lot of decisive attitude. Well, there's another interesting thing that I'd like to say at this point in time that is called the triangular trade. Um, Something interesting has happened to India. When Russia was supplying oil at deeply discounted rates, Indian refineries were buying that at cheaper rates, refining the crude, making diesel, and making jet fuel. And these two products they were selling to European countries. And so it's like this a triangular trade. Buy from Russia, refine in India, sell to Europe. So it was a beautiful, virtuous cycle that was performed, that was happening. And one would question why are the European countries buying from us? That's because most of Europe was a part of NATO, and NATO decidedly was not interested in buying from Russia. So it was rerouted through India. And who gained in the whole process? India gained in the whole process. So this triangular trade is an interesting nugget of a story from our oil, big story of oil. There's much more to come, but I'd like to stop now.